Do women expect chivalry from other women or only from men?
I don't think they expect it from other women. I wouldn't say.
I think only from men.
So would you consider chivalry to be a female privilege?
I think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
What would you think about chivalry if it favored men over women?
As far as women serving men or in the way of chivalry, I feel like it would be a little weird. I don't know. The idea of protecting my better half or my male partner, I mean, I guess I could protect him, but it seems like, you know, that would be something that would more so fall in his role, whereas I would have other things that would fall under my role.
Well, isn't that convenient? It's great to know that for 90% of the time, men must bow down and offer burnt sacrifices to the altar of women, except for the times that women either need a jar opened, their car fixed, or protection from harm. Then all of a sudden, women become major supporters of gender roles, while women get to use mental gymnastics to justify doing nothing. However, once that role is fulfilled, then it's back to status quo where all men are toxic, except for Raphael, who gets a pass simply because he drives a souped-up Bentley. Sorry, sister, you're not allowed to have it both ways. If you want a man's protection, you're just gonna have to trust him to lead. You can't treat that man like dirt and then all of a sudden expect him to protect you once something goes wrong. And trust me, sister, you really do need a man's protection because you look like you couldn't even protect yourself against a mildly annoyed squirrel.
I believe that the roles have kind of shifted or reversed, if you will, and I think it is contributed to a lot of things economically. I think that we are no longer living in a society where one household income can sustain a family, and so a lot of the burden to provide has also been put on women at this point, and we're tired. We can't do it all. You know, we gotta cook, we gotta clean, take care of the house, and make money at the same time. So I think it's just getting a little bit muddy in the waters.
Lady, you really need to stop following certain trends on Instagram because despite what you've read, drinking turpentine is in fact terrible for your brain. The dual income household has been a thing for decades, and it was brought on by feminists who demanded access to the workplace. Now that a house had two incomes, this led to a massive increase in the cost of living, which meant parents had to rely on the public education system to watch their kids while they worked. A system that has been so terrible that even Roman senators and emperors themselves have talked trash about them. That means parents are spending less time with their kids and more time working just to put food on the table. But thanks to your unhealthy obsession with social media, you've grown to resent the husband and the family simply because you work and are expected to clean and cook every once in a while, thus leading to an unhappy and unhealthy home with a husband and children you've grown to resent. But hey, at least you got the right to work, so that's something, right?
A world where more and more men are single because women do not want to date them is a world that's very dangerous for women, which is why I worry about retaliation in reaction to the rise of single men. We actually have data from this year that shows young women are way less interested in dating than young men are. And we have data to show that more women than men are single because they simply cannot find someone they are interested in dating. 38% of single American women say the main reason they're not dating is they can't find someone that meets their expectations, compared to only 23% of men say the same thing. College-educated women are the group most likely to say they are single because they can't find someone that meets their expectation, 45%.
Women should stay home and make babies.
Hi, Agnes. I'm gonna call you Agnes because I know you have a name, but I can't be bothered to look it up, so I'm just gonna call you Agnes. Sound great? Alright, Agnes, this study proves bupkis except for the fact that your brain is a combination of equal parts shredded goat cheese and sawdust. You're purposefully forgetting the reason why men aren't dating these women, and that is because of social media and dating apps have made women insufferable. 23% of men can't find a woman who meets their expectations, and you know what those expectations generally are? That a woman is fit, friendly, and feminine. That is how low the bar is set. Then these women end up not dating because the man's expectation only feeds the dogs of the patriarchy or some such nonsense. Meanwhile, these same college women are getting endless validation on these apps while getting attention from Chad, who's more than happy to take her out back to play with her muddy septic tank of relentless suffering, thus making average women feel like they're entitled to a man like Chad and talking down to anyone they think is less than him. Now, Agnes, I know you're not gonna address this, mainly because that would require basic preschool logic and you're incapable of such miraculous feats, but the least you can do is slightly more research than the bare minimum if you're gonna do this, because you are losing a battle of wits against a guy who only passed kindergarten based on a technicality. It's a funny story. I'll tell it to you sometime.
And I can hear the men in my comments now saying, see, it's women's fault. They have too high of expectation and that's why everyone is single and lonely. But let me remind you that women have always entered into marriages with the expectation that it is going to materially improve their lives. We needed husbands for financial security. We needed them for bank accounts, for credit cards, to have a house to live in. And now women are doing better than men. We are more educated. We are stable on our own. And women who are independent and self-sustaining do not need to get married. When you don't financially need a husband or a partner, you can say, I'm not going to get a partner until I find one that's emotionally supportive, emotionally intelligent, doesn't need me to be his therapist, and his mom, doesn't need me to do all the childcare, all the housework. And men will tell you, they do in my comments every single day, that these expectations are just simply too much.
You're not just wrong, you're stupid. Now wait just a minute. And you're ugly, just like your mum.
Wow, Agnes, you really want to go there? Okay. In your smug and overly simplistic yet blatantly entitled rant, you forgot one key thing. Sure, women are more educated now. They are working their own jobs and owning their own houses. I mean, we should know they never shut up about it, but you're also forgetting that they are childless, completely lost, and miserable. Finding a husband is more than just about money, you materialistic buffoon. There's also trust, emotional companionship, and mutual support. The man provides the home and the safety, while the woman provides the peace and the stability. It's a symbiotic relationship, not a transaction. And this simple system has worked effectively for hundreds, if not thousands of years. But what has changed in the last few generations? Well, let me think. Could it have been the rise of a militant ideology that could be easily debunked with a 3-second Google search and basic logic possessed by your average marsupial? Don't bother asking that question, Agnes. It was rhetorical. I would ask you to look that word up in the dictionary, but I don't want you to spend the next 6 hours trying to find out what one of those are. It'll just make your massive forehead hurt with frustration, and I'm a gentleman. I don't like to see people needlessly suffer.
I fear for escalating retaliation that this will cause interpersonally between men and women, and also in legislative and policy decisions, like the push to get rid of no-fault divorce, in the rolling back of reproductive rights, and with things like student debt and college affordability. They're not going to make college more affordable when more women going to college results in higher expectations of the men that want to date us. So yeah, that's why I worry about retaliation of men who cannot make it worth it for women to want to date and marry them.
Wow, Agnes, baby, please, you gotta stop doing this. You are embarrassing yourself now. Let's just start at the beginning here. By saying that men are retaliating, it raises the implication that men were initially attacked, and you're not exactly wrong. You have been insulting men, demeaning us, and relentlessly calling for our emasculation at every turn you could possibly get. You've demanded that we give up our spaces, our voices, and even our basic biological traits, all in the name of making you feel empowered. You even have the gall to blame us for all of society's woes, despite the fact that society, more often than not, has thrived thanks to the system built and maintained by men. But your examples of this so-called retaliation are so stupid that they actually kill more brain cells than an entire bottle of 5 o'clock vodka, and that's rather impressive. The only examples that you can find are a Supreme Court case that you clearly know next to nothing about, and the abolition of no-fault divorce, which shouldn't even be an issue because you literally just said that women are self-sustaining, so therefore there's no need for no-fault divorce. Men are not retaliating. We are walking away because you're just not worth it. We don't give a rat's ass about you enough to retaliate because rats' asses are actually more valuable, more useful, and apparently even smell better than you, Agnes.
That's funny because it's so true.
To my future husband, I need to be honest with you. It's important that we love each other, but there's something else that matters too. I need you to be kind, incredibly patient as well, and I hope you had good reflexes on the day I suddenly fell. There's something really important. I need you to be kind of funny, and I hope that you're responsible because we're gonna need to save a lot of money.
Perchance some poetry before a fortnight.
A poem to my future wife. There is something I must get off my chest, and for me to speak first, it will probably be best. I'm going to need you to know how to cook, to clean and maintain the house that I own. You'll need to trust me and not find constant excuses with which to bitch and moan. As for finances, I could not care less what you want to call it. If money is a concern, then keep your damn hands off my wallet. You'll need to keep yourself looking pretty even when your skin starts to sag, and the only reflexes I care about revolve around your ability to not argue with me over petty crap because I don't have time for such nonsense.
I need you to be understanding. I say exactly what I mean, and I might need you to put the spotlight on when it's time for me to be seen. Don't dim my light. I spent a long time working for this, and I need to make sure that there's several points that I don't miss.
I want, me, mine, now.
And I need you to be understanding as I say exactly what I mean. If you expect me to provide, you better know your way around a laundry machine. There will be times when I work, I will feel soreness in my hands, and trust me when I say that is not the time to talk about your wasteful travel plans. Now don't shut me out, and don't you dare interrupt the words that I say, because we are moving to a state that has abolished no-fault divorce, okay? I have worked extremely hard for everything I have, as I'm sure you can tell, and to give it all up to you, well, that will indeed be a cold day in hell.
I will really love you, but I need most of all for you to be the man my future daughter can always call. You will choose me, but I will choose you for them. We will lay down the roots that will then become a stem, that will then become flowers, that will then become seeds. I need you to become the man that will help fulfill these needs. And it's important that we love each other. But this matters too, because I need our kids to say, I learned how to love because of you.
You speak of love, yet you know nothing about that. For in your eyes, marriage is nothing but tit for tat. You speak of your daughter, not mine, or dare I say ours. Such selfish talk makes my attraction to you cower. Perhaps it's best if I ignore you as I turn the corner, because I will be goddamned if I ever become your sperm donor. So I must say, off with you now, and for my sake, make it quick. For if you're anything like your poetry, you clearly are shit. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. As always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button and ring the notification bell so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.